Welcome to episode 4. And Ryan, we are staring down the barrel of Christmas.
5 days away.
5 days away from Christmas, man. What'd you ask for Christmas this year?
Oh, so many things. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know what I'll get. I got 3 kids, so it's always a joy to try to figure out what they want. They asked for all kinds of things. Literally, probably a month ago, I come home and they're all writing out their Christmas list. And my 5-year-old, of course, he wants the Xbox One. He wants a TV. He wants a drum set. He wants all this laundry list of things. And my 7-year-old, Jax, he only had 4 things on the list. So, it's, and Eli wants some Legos, and so typical things, but Christmas is coming fast, and it's right around the corner, and just looking forward to time with family and friends, and just enjoying that. So.
Yeah. So we're 3 years into marriage, and we don't have kids yet. So, we still get to shower each other with gifts.
That's awesome.
I asked for a boat like the last 3 years, but it just hadn't happened.
Oh, it might be in the making, huh?
I am looking for a boat. Definitely want a boat. Looking at the Prodigy boats right now. And
yeah.
It's a lot of money to spend on something that you know that you're going to beat up.
Oh yeah. Duck hunting's so brutal, and fishing in general, all of it is so brutal on it. So, were you thinking of a prop or jet?
Well, so, I've been in a jet and a prop this season, and so I've been looking at the advantages and disadvantages for us and what we do, for me and what I do even when I fish in Tennessee. And I'm thinking that I'm going to go with a prop only because I think that I want some speed.
Yeah.
And if we go shallow, we'll go with yours, which we'll talk about your boat here in a minute.
Yeah.
But I think we have 2 options, but I'm looking at like a 100 plus horsepower motor. But the Prodigies, they're really nice. I mean, I've been in one and I've hunted out of one, and when you get in it, it's luxury.
Yeah.
It is definitely luxury. So, but anyway, I know that my wife is probably going to spoil me for Christmas.
She's going to get you all kinds of sick gear.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, no, you've got it all, right?
I got all that last year.
I know.
I got all the timber last year.
That's right. So here comes the whitetail system. You probably got it too, though, right?
I got some of it.
Yeah.
But so anyway, yeah, I mean, Christmas is here, and we're wrapping up the end of the year. And what we wanted to talk about on the show today is just kind of where we came in a year's time. And I know that we introduced the company on the first episode, but I want to kind of talk through some of the behind the scenes things that maybe a normal, just everyday follower on social media might not know about us individually and then us as a company. So when I look back on, so I've got some cheat notes here, but when I look back on the year, so we made our logo in January. So we launched the logo in January. We got it on Instagram, and I know that we're really heavy on Instagram more than we are Facebook, but we did launch Facebook as well. But since February, we've gained 6,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
We didn't launch a Facebook group until, I don't know, it was like mid-year or something.
Right.
Because when we launched the e-commerce store,
we had to set
which
it
is
up.
another thing we did, we had to set it up because that Facebook, if you didn't know, Facebook and Instagram are the same owners, same company. So they have to mesh together. So we had to establish a Facebook store before we established an Instagram store. It was a complete mess and a headache to do all that, but we got it set up. So we got stores on both of those platforms now. We don't have as many followers on Facebook, but we really don't focus a whole lot on that platform. It's been great. And if you follow our Instagram, we encourage you to go over and follow our Facebook if you have a Facebook. It is a mirrored
posting.
It's mirrored posts and content. Every once in a while, we'll put something different on Facebook only because it draws Facebook followers a certain way.
Yeah, they're different crowds, definitely so.
Yeah, and so we don't have the following that we have on Instagram there. So we launched the e-commerce store, which was huge for us.
Right. To be able to sell things, basically you can just click the link or put that product, we tag the product even in our post now, which they took that away, but now it's back on.
Yeah.
So
they actually took it back.
They took it back away.
I hadn't told you that, but they took it back away from you. So you have to either be verified or have 10,000 followers.
Wow.
to have that story link that you can swipe up and go to your store. So that did put a little hurt on us.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think that a lot of people sometimes look at stories more before they look at content.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that just kind of happens that way. So with the e-commerce store, we launched two t-shirts and 2 hats, and we're in 26 states. We've sold to 26 states so far.
That's so crazy. I mean, really, to say, you know, from an idea, a dream, just a passion, and developed those things, and basically 26 states represented. I mean, I think that's a huge accomplishment for really under a year.
Yeah. And even that, yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I should have looked up when we launched our e-commerce store, but it has not been that long. And we've done great with it. And I'll be the first to say, I mean, we are not here to make money here.
Oh, definitely.
We're definitely not here to make money. We like to see people post the merchandise that they buy. We like to see all that, and we like to get that kind of word out. And I think what we're doing here is something different than maybe other places are doing. But you have a full-time job. I have a full-time job.
Right.
And we do this kind of on the side. It's just it's really more for fun for us than it is anything.
Really, yeah. I mean, I think one of the incredible things that happens with the Banded Retrieve is just it's an opportunity for us to connect with other people, and it's an opportunity to just be able to share stories and be able to catch some of the things that happen in the blind, and just incredible pictures, and just to be a part of it. And so, yeah, definitely. I know we've got some hoodies that we're going to release, and literally, if we make, I think it's $2 on them. We might make $2 on them. We might. I mean, that's if everything goes right and they sell. Yeah. So, I mean, and we don't order that many because we can't. I mean, we're just like you said, this is a side project that we have and something we are passionate about, but it's really just getting started. It's something that me and you have just really, the direction of it even is just going in different ways as we see fit, just based on the timing of it.
It really is. And we let God lead us.
Yeah.
Through all of this. And I know that I run the social media stuff, and a lot of times I'm more privy to like the messages and things that we get. All the encouraging words are great. The podcast has been a great success. I think we've gotten a lot of good feedback from people messaging us on Facebook and Instagram. Haven't gotten any emails yet, so we're looking for a couple emails. We'd love to have some email interaction with us for this, and that's info@thebandedretrieve.com, which you hear it at the end of each podcast. But that's been a whole lot of fun. And so what I was going to say about, me getting more of the interaction with some of the followers, we have had the chance to hear people's stories. We've had the chance to see people's photos that they post, like I said, with their merchandise, or just with their dog or with their buddies. They tag the Banded Retrieve, which is awesome. Love seeing that. And we've actually had a couple of people that will message us and we pray for them.
Oh, yeah. We had that happen after the first podcast, and that's something that we believe in, and we believe in the power of prayer. We've seen it happen in our own lives. And so the interaction with people is what it's all about. In the end, we're about people and making those connections. And it's awesome to see people who connect with us on that level, but it also goes deeper and further than that too. One of my favorite posts that we got tagged in pictures was the guy who put the dog sticker on his gun. Yeah, it's on the stock of the gun, and it is awesome. That Just Dog sticker is huge. It is the biggest sticker we have.
Yeah.
Size wise, it doesn't even say the Banded Retrieve on it. It's just got a picture of the dog and the holding the duck in his mouth. But it's just awesome to see that thing. And we've had people put them on their dashboards and all kinds of things. So it's cool to see that. And I would encourage you, if you're listening now, please tag us, please message us. We love the interaction. We like reaching out, and B tells me of who's messaged and who's interacting with us, and that's always incredible. And you can always reach out to us at our Instagram. So it's just awesome to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you kind of touched a little bit on the hoodie. So the new hoodie we got coming out, and we don't mind telling people this. I mean, you just said it. We're not here to really make a whole lot of money on this stuff, and won't be making it on this hoodie. But what we wanted to do was launch a very high quality hoodie.
Right.
Another brand that we have pro staff deals with actually have this same hoodie, and so we reached out to the supplier, got these hoodies in. And now we're just working on making sure that we get the right company to put the logo on it so that we can get them out and we can sell them.
Yeah. Which has been a challenge, really. And people who just see all these companies, there's some incredible companies out there who put out shirts all the time. I mean, Dive Bomb and East Coast Waterfowl and all these people, Last Flight. And I mean, I can name them off the top of my Ducks, the shirt of the month. They do. It is not easy to make that stuff happen. No. And we've realized that. We purchased the hoodies, but now even in our local town, the guy who usually does our printing actually passed away of COVID. So literally they have nobody to print on the screen print. So we're trying to go elsewhere to be able to find, a good deal so that we could just get the product out. And we're not, I mean, again, it's not for profit. It's just to be able to really get it out so people love the logo. Yeah. They like the two logos we have, and we're always designing and always coming up with new things, and we're trying to reach out, but ultimately it takes time, effort, and money to make those things happen.
And if you think people's getting rich doing this clothing stuff, I mean, unless you are huge, like massive, you really don't make a whole lot of money doing this. And sometimes we have to check ourselves of like, why are we doing this here?
Yeah.
Because we're not making money, but we're doing it because we're having fun with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But we also place challenges on ourselves that sometimes we meet and sometimes we don't meet. And I think this year we've had a very successful year, but even in those hoodies, you and I talked about it and we said, we want to have a hoodie that we can sell that's within $50.
Yeah.
Because if you look at a lot of hoodies that you buy, I mean, a lot of them are a little bit more expensive, and we're not trying to undercut anybody here. We are trying to get the best deal that we can get so that we can sell them at an affordable rate. That's something maybe like you and I would buy.
Right.
So this, even after tax, we're still looking at around the $50 mark.
Yeah.
So, and that's been a challenge as well. So it's taken us a little bit more time. We wanted to get a hoodie out for the season. We are a little bit behind, like you said, because the issues with that we've had with the printers and things like that. But ultimately we're gonna make that happen, and I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be the highest quality thing that we've produced yet.
I believe that, and that's one of the things that we've always wanted. One thing that I just personally, even for me, and I know me and you've talked about this, is people put out hoodies all the time, and not to slam anybody or anything like that, but a lot of times, you instantly get it. It's a Gildan, which is not a bad one, but it's hard to pay $65 for a Gildan shirt. Yeah. It is for me, just because I know, so we wanted something that was better quality, and a little thicker. And so I think we achieve it as this is released. I mean, the hoodies are right here in this room with me, with us. And so, I mean, hopefully we'll get that all lined out and get that out. Yeah. Another thing that we did this year with the hats, we went with the black hat was the first hat we had. And it's the Richardson hat, and it's got a brown patch on it, leather patch, and it was very successful. But we also decided that, hey, we wanted to get a custom made hat. We wanted to talk to somebody who actually stitches the hat. So the hat is not a Richardson. It's not a Yupong. It's not that. It's our own.
Straight to manufacturer.
Banded retrieve hat. You take off the hat, and on the inseam, it says the Banded retrieve.
Handwriting.
And that's, those are things, but that takes extra time, extra effort and extra energy to be able to do that. And so sometimes it feels like, for us, it feels slow, but really, I mean, 2 hats, 2 shirts, first year.
Yes.
And we're running out of things, really. I mean, they're starting to sell out. The first shirt sold out instantly, and then we're moving the other things really quickly. So, as the end of the year comes, that's where we're at, Yeah.
So I want to kind of move away from the merch, but I think that was a good conversation wanted to have with our followers. Let's talk a little bit about maybe some of your personal life in this year as we close out 2021, some of the highlights that you've had personally, whether it's with the company or just just family stuff.
Well, for the company, I would say, just like we talked about, it was to get the hat out. It's be able to go hunting more and be able to capture those moments. And I think we've done that successfully. Personally, I had quite a few things that I wanted to accomplish this year. One thing was physically, and so I just accomplished that back in November, and so I wanted to run a half marathon, which was a huge goal. It took some training for me because I'm not a runner. Literally 3 years ago, I couldn't even do a modified push-up, but I knew that I wanted to get in the floor, play with my kids. I wanted to be able to get in a duck blind, and sometimes when we're throwing out decoys and everything, that's labor intensive. And the mud here in West Virginia can get really bad, especially in January. So I was out of breath, didn't feel like getting in the floor playing with my kids, didn't feel like carrying the duck decoys out. And so I knew I had to make a lifestyle change. So I lost 40 pounds, totally changed my life, I'm a pastor. And so I was preaching at that point 2 services back to back, which is also labor intensive for me. And so I found myself just in the midst of the struggle of that. So I was like, I had to get my health under control because I knew that was a key part of my life. So I lost that 40 pounds. And this year I set the goal of running that half marathon. So I ran the Charlotte half marathon, and it was incredible. My goal was to finish, of course, was the first goal, but the second goal was that I wanted to run it under 2 hours. And so the chip time was 1 hour and 55 minutes, which I met that goal. It's a credible goal for me. Actually, I got emotional, because I had worked so hard, to do it. And you just man, when you've run 10 miles and, just in training, and you run in the rain and there's blisters on your feet and you've just pressed through it, it's like a lot of mental. And I overcome my mind because I hate to run, but it's like then I grew to love running and to be a part of it. And so when I came across that finish line, it was an incredible moment. Just awesome. My wife was there, 3 kids, Fish, our producer, was there, and a lot of another one of my pastor friends was there, and I ran it with 2 other people. And so it's awesome to be able to capture that moment. Incredible to be able to get the t-shirt and just to say I've ran a half marathon.
Yeah.
That was a big goal of mine. Another goal that I had, this is personal, but I read the Bible every day. 3 years ago, I set this goal that I was going to get in the Bible app every day. And so I'm around, I guess when this is released, it'll be more than this, but today I'm 1,066 days in the Bible app without missing. It's getting close to 3 years. It's a personal goal. I know that if I'm physically healthy and I'm spiritually healthy, that I'm the best me I can be for my family, for hunting, for other people, my friends. And so those are the 2 big goals that was just really incredible for me to achieve and to continue on to do. What goals did you have?
Well, hold on a second. First, you're an incredible person. I feel like trash. I can't even no. I'm not where I want to be. I think I ended up losing 35 pounds. I've gained about 10 pounds of that back and working to get back on that. But I was going to ask you, and we haven't talked about this, and if you don't know, Ryan and I Ryan's my best friend. We talk daily. But are you still running?
I actually, at this point of the recording, I'm 1 week out, so I'll start running again this week. So I was going to run on Friday, but some things come up. I actually had to do a funeral. That was kind of, so I prepared my sermon, did the funeral, and so it just, I was going to run, but time just escaped me.
Yeah. This is how trash of a person I am. We went on our first annual Banded Retrieve family vacation. Your family was there. Rachel and I hosted it, and then Fish and his wife, Jess, that we mentioned on the podcast during his birthday, they were there as well. And so at that time you were training for the half marathon. And so when you got up one day, you have a pace on your shoe and then on your watch. And so you were trying to get that pace and you're like, man, I don't know if that's even accurate. Well, I have an e-bike. We bought an e-bike over the
Right.
summer, and I trailed you with an e-bike to give you your time while
He did.
you're running.
He did. He definitely helped me out. We were at Myrtle Beach, and I got up and I ran. I think the first day I think I had run 5 or 6 miles. I ran down to the plantation. I never ran on the beach, but
Yeah.
that is very difficult also because the sand gives away. Anyway, we're not talking about that, but that's, it's just a difficult thing. My calves were shot. And so I ended up, I think I ran every day that week because my training plan, what I had did is I had did the Under Armour training plan. That's basically on your phone, 5K to half marathon. And so I said I was going to run Monday through Friday, and it ended up like I'd run 2 miles Monday, 2 miles. I mean, my long runs were on Monday. And so I'd run the longest then I'd run 2 miles, a mile, 2 miles, another mile just to get up the mileage to the point. But I felt really good in the marathon or in the half marathon. The toughest part was at mile 10, I hit a hill and it was brutal, but I pushed through and got it under.
No, I mean, it's like, it's something to be said about somebody that trains like that and gets to that half marathon. And then you're also in longer than a marathon when you're reading your Bible, and that's like it's really something to applaud about, and glad that you're my friend. Really,
I appreciate that.
For me, this company's been a huge part of my life in the last year.
Right.
I've already mentioned some of the things that we've talked about. I'll actually start with a failure. One of the failures that I had was I set out a goal for us to be at least 10,000 followers for Instagram. Didn't make that goal,
right,
which is fine. I mean, now that we're at the end of the year, we're not there, we're close, but I mean, to have 6,000 more followers from February till now, it's awesome. And we talked about that of, what does it really mean to have that many followers? It's weird. It's just a personal goal that I'd set for myself. And then, when you came on, it was a goal that I wanted for us.
Right.
Didn't make it, but I feel confident that we'll make it in 2022. So that is probably one of the only failures that we've had with the company. And it's not major.
No,
not
it's
a major failure, but, this company's been a success. I have a full-time job. I work for a company, and then I also have a side consulting company that I grew this year. And so, this is going on it's like 2.5 years, but each year I try to make sure that brings more and more business. And this year has definitely beat what I thought that I'd be at.
That's awesome
for that. So, a lot of mine is wrapped up in those businesses. Rachel and I bought a fifth wheel camper this year. We had our, like you said, the first annual TBR family vacation at Myrtle Beach, which was a lot of fun.
Right.
Had the kids down there and more family. I think at one time we had over 22 people and like 6 dogs at the beach at the park, and it was an awesome experience and one that we'll remember forever. And we're going to try to do that every year.
Yeah.
Even if it's something short, it might not be a week like we did this year, but it was something that we'll look back and remember.
Definitely.
And then also the other thing I guess that I would say is, if you're watching this on YouTube, because this is the first one that we've recorded on YouTube, I've got glasses on and I hate wearing these things, and I've not hunted with them on. So we'll see what happens Tuesday when we go out.
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right, but, going to get tested Wednesday to maybe see if I'm accepted for LASIK surgery. So that's going to be a life-changing thing for me. I'm sick and tired of contacts and glasses and having to pay for all that. So,
right.
That's another thing that I guess this year is going to cap off, the year for me. It's been an awesome year. I think if I go back, to everything, Pastor has been my biggest success.
Right.
I got him in 2020, and then this spring was like heavy training. We wanted to make sure that he was ready for this season, and we've been through all of that. We've been through his first hunt, and we go hunting all the time now. And man, he's hitting a real good stride right now. We're not handling yet, but we're going to hit that next spring. It's going to be another goal for me in 22, me and him in 22. Yeah. But for for everything that what it is, I think he is becoming once in a lifetime dog, I think.
I believe that.
To me, as a sportsman, and to me personally, I posted something on Instagram a while back that can your dogs be pets, or can your gun dogs be pets? And the answer is absolutely.
I believe
that. And I know that we may have people here that's listening that will think otherwise, and that's fine. And sorry, we can have topics that we don't agree on. But for me and my wife and my dog, we do that, and he's 100% a pet, and he's 100% a gun dog. He's got an on and off switch like I would have never imagined, and we love him to death, and he does great work for me.
Yeah,
he's got a good temperament, and a lot of that has to do with where I work from home. And COVID had a lot to do with that, where he's with me all the time. He's actually with me today.
Right.
And it's been nice bringing him into my life. I didn't become part of his. He's become a part of mine.
Yeah.
And he's really chill when I'm chill. He's jacked up when I'm jacked up. And we feed off each other really well. But and we can talk about that some other time, but absolutely 100%, your gun dog can be your pet.
Yeah. I think it's critical from what I've seen is that the fun part of this year for that is watching him grow, like in different scenarios. Like, and some of you might not have a dog, or some of you might be training a dog. And one of the things that I've seen is like some of the things he was timid at first, he's going at full force now. Mm-hmm. And there's new things that are introduced. Like we had Spoonzilla out in the first split, or in the second split of Virginia. And like we had some motion out there in spinners. Yep. And he ran out, and he was just he was just unsure about it. We cut it off and he ran past it. It's just new things, and that's awesome. But it's even like seeing him retrieve his first goose. When he retrieved his second goose, it was slapping him in the face, but he came in like a champ. I mean, he just kept on swimming. Now he's retrieved multiple geese. Even he had a double that he retrieved, and and it was just cool to watch him. He launches out of the boat. It's just
getting better at that
every time.
At first he didn't even want to get out of there.
Yeah.
And going back to that goose thing, he, that one that was slapping him in the face, a lot of people will say, make sure that goose is dead.
Yeah.
I know my dog well enough to know that he's not scared of anything. He'll try to figure it out, and he'll draw back for a couple feet.
Yeah.
But then he goes back at it.
Right.
And so when he went out to go get that goose, like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen here. I hope that goose doesn't whoop his hind end. He took that thing on like he was a 7-year champ, man.
Oh man, he came back, and I was
in water. That thing
awesome.
Was fighting him in water, not land, and it wasn't where he could touch. I mean, he was swimming with that thing, and I've got a video of it, and the goose his body's just as big as Pastor. Pastor's a compact, very small dog.
He is. But that's been exciting to see that. I mean, it's incredible to watch him just react to new scenarios. And in the duck blind, he's a chill dog. He's really calm and patient, and I like that. He's not mouthy. He sits over there. Many times you don't even know he's there until you call his name, and then he's like a champ out to retrieve it. And that's something that I like his personality, and thankful that we got a dog like that we can hunt with, and that you were able to train. I think it's a huge success to watch you work with him over the year and see his progression. It's phenomenal to have a great gun dog like him.
Yeah, and we're gonna next year, one of these podcasts, we're gonna dedicate probably just to him. We're gonna talk a little bit more about him. I know I talk about him a lot because it's just second nature, but we're gonna dedicate one for just him, and we'll talk through his failures, his successes, and some of the things that we have issues with. But I do want to touch on, we're 5 days away from Christmas, and I just want to kind of talk through a little bit of that as well. Christmas, it means a lot to us as we wrap up this year, and I know that when we release this thing, you're going to have a sermon the day before this one, and
right.
I'm sure you probably don't know what that is yet, but it's all about it. It's all about Jesus for us, right?
Yeah, definitely. When I think of Christmas, I think about the greatest gift ever given. Yeah. And ultimately, if everything in my life is dedicated to that cause, I believe it, we believe it. As a company, we believe it. It's what we put first. We believe that Jesus came as a baby in a manger, and that he was born to a virgin. We believe that, and we believe that he died for our sins, and we believe he rose from the dead, and we believe he's coming back for us.
Yeah.
And ultimately, some people might turn it off here. We don't push that on anyone. We're just telling you that the best life that we live is because of him.
Absolutely. And you know, even this morning, this is a Sunday and you preached this morning, and we're not talking prosperity gospel here, but you can listen at some of these successes that we've had over this year. And we are two owners that are firm believers, and God really guides our steps through this. We pray together. We pray over the company, and actually we actually pray over the merchandise that goes out the door. We put our hands on it, and we you know, pray special prayers over people's lives that who, you know, might get in contact with us. And I think that it's something that I want to make sure that everybody's is aware of. And like you said, some people might turn it off at this point, but you know, we're closing out on Christmas this year, and looking forward to that. And every year, you know, like you said, our the best gift that we were ever given was Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And the thing is like, we're up front. It's God, family, and leaving a legacy.
Yes.
And it's hunting, and it's all that. But we believe in God and the power of God, and we believe that he changes our lives. He changed my life. He can change your life. You just got to give him a chance. And ultimately, that's what we've done, and God's blessed us in every season. And Jesus is definitely the reason for the season. And so if you have any more questions about any of that, just shoot us a message. We'd love to connect with you.
And I'll say this too, and we'll close here, but you know, the holidays are a tough time for a lot of people, a lot of families. It brings up, for whatever reason, we could go into that for days, but for whatever reason, it kind of, sometimes it brings up our worst memories that we might have. And it's a trying time for us, for some people individually. And what I would encourage you to do is, if it's something that you want to share with us, send us an email, send us a message on Instagram. We are more than happy to pray with you and pray for your situation, and reach out. And we want to connect with you on a spiritual level as well.